Hi, I'm Maggie, a Flinn Scholar from the class of 2016. If you're watching this, you're probably interested in the Flinn Scholarship. So as someone who recently graduated, I wanted to provide some of my insights and tips for applying to this scholarship. So the Flinn Scholarship is valued at about $120,000. It's a full ride to an in-state college in Arizona, which means you won't need to pay for tuition or housing or living expenses. You'll also have opportunities to study abroad and have some funding for that, and also have access to a bunch of networking and internships. So it's a really great way to graduate college debt-free and set yourself up for many opportunities in the future. For me, being a Flinn meant that I could become financially independent at 18, and when I entered college and started looking for labs, many people don't accept freshmen, but because I was a Flinn, many people were willing to offer me an interview, and I was able to land a position. So having that on your resume or in your background will really open a lot of doors for you and provide a lot of opportunity. I've also been able to travel to Japan and China and India to do research or to learn something new, and all of that has been paid for with these funds. And when you're a Flinn, you also have this automatic network of friends when you go into college, and they will, maybe you won't always be like super close, but you always have that support network that's there and you can reach out to or get help from when you need it. The Flinn application usually opens late August and closes around early October. You'll need to fill out a written online application, after which they choose about 75 or 80 semifinalists to do first round interviews, and then those semifinalists are cut down to about 40 finalists, which go through second round interviews, and ultimately about 23 awardees are chosen. Now, they choose 23 because ultimately a few students will decide to go out of state or not take the scholarship. So our class sizes are typically around 20 individuals. To be eligible, you need to be a U.S. citizen or a permanent lawful resident with a green card. You also need to have been an Arizona resident for 2 years preceding your entry to university. Applicants usually have a 3.5 GPA and about a 1340 on the SAT score. And if you do class rankings as well, they're typically in the top 5%. The review board is also looking for interesting extracurricular activities. However, this year, due to COVID, applicants are not required to submit test scores, and they won't count against you. To put it simply, they're really just looking for good, smart people. So intellectual curiosity and emotional depth. And in terms of essay questions, they're generally the same every year. So I applied in 2016, and then I took a look at the past essay questions for the past few years, and they're all very similar. Questions like, what experience has made the most difference in shaping who you are today? Or what is a problem that you wish to solve? Or what is something that you want to see changed in Arizona in the next 10 years? So all of these questions are really just trying to paint a bigger picture of who you are, what you care about, why you do the things that you do. And for Flinn, there's no type, right? I think good people come in all forms. So we have lawyers, doctors, engineers. We have people who are artists, people who do nonprofit, people who are in corporate. There is no one type of Flinn Scholar, and they're also really trying to build a complete class. So diversity and inclusion is really important. So I know essay writing is hard, right? And I can tell you, be yourself or write about why this, but it's hard to know what that looks like. So I want to give an example of an essay question that I had in 2016 and how I answered it. The question was, what do you hope to see changed in Arizona in 10 years? And I talked about how I wish there was better sexual health education, because for me, I grew up in a fairly conservative Asian family. I didn't have the talk. I didn't have anyone talk to me about periods or safe sex or proper sexual hygiene, and I had to learn all of that from nonprofits and programs that I participated in on my own. So I do think it's really important that kids grow up knowing how to protect themselves, and I was able to tie it back to my own experience. My best advice to you would be to take some time and think about who you really are, what you care about, why you do the things that you do, and what has motivated you to partake in all of the activities that you've done. And if you've already made it this far, then obviously there's a very compelling reason that is driving you. So find a good way to put that down in words. Don't try to fit into a type. There's no type. And have people read over your essays. Ask them, is this me? Does this accurately represent who I am? And does it paint a good picture of who I am as a person? Right? And I think the more accurately it reflects your values, the better your application will be. Good luck.